Don't spray in my room. I don't need to spray in here. Sting won't like it.
Charlotte, a 12-year-old girl, sneaks into her grandma Helga's and great-aunt Gunther's apartment. A tiny spider hatches from a strange, glowing object that has crash-landed in the apartment and climbs into her hand. Finding the spider intriguing, Charlotte empties a matchbox, puts the spider inside, and takes it back home. Charlotte lives with her busy stepfather, Ethan, her mother, Heather, and her baby half-brother, Liam. She is often left to her own devices. When she returns to her room, she empties a container, puts the spider inside, and covers it. Deciding to keep the spider as a pet, she names it Sting. Charlotte keeps Sting hidden and begins feeding and caring for it. The spider grows faster than she imagined and has an insatiable appetite. One day, Ethan goes to their neighbor Maria's apartment to help her fix her sink. When he returns home, Heather hands Liam over to him and heads to her mother Helga and Aunt Gunther's apartment to put her amnesia-suffering mother to bed. Meanwhile, Charlotte stays in her room with Sting. At night, Sting escapes from the container and goes in search of food. It enters Helga and Gunther's apartment through the air duct and kills their parrot. In the morning, Gunther wakes up, sees the dead parrot, and screams, attracting the attention of Ethan and his family. Ethan rushes into their apartment. After deliberating on what could have caused the incident, Gunther instructs Ethan to call Frank, the exterminator. Upon arrival, Frank observes the dead parrot, opens the air duct to inspect it, and then begins fumigating the building. Meanwhile, Charlotte continues hunting down and feeding cockroaches to Sting. During this process, she discovers that mothballs irritate Sting and keep it away. While Frank is fumigating the building, he encounters Eric, a biology student trying to cure his diabetes with fish guts. Eric warns Frank to be careful with his fish. Frank then moves into Charlotte's room. While observing the air duct, Charlotte tells him not to spray her room, as Sting won't like it. Frank tries to find out who Sting is, and upon discovering it's a spider, warns Charlotte against keeping such pets, as they might be dangerous. However, Charlotte ignores Frank's advice and continues feeding and caring for Sting. At night, Sting goes out again in search of food, this time targeting Maria's apartment. Maria's dog, Bonnie, spots the spider and starts barking. Disturbed by Bonnie's barking, Maria locks the dog away. Soon, the spider climbs onto Maria's body, attacks, and kills her. As Sting continues to grow at an alarming rate, becoming almost impossible to hide, Charlotte visits Eric to request one of his fish tanks. Eric offers to lend her a tank for free but needs to monitor the spider for a while to find the right case for it before returning it to Charlotte. At Ethan's apartment, Ethan and Heather hear a strange noise coming from the air duct. Ethan opens it and finds Bonnie. He takes the dog and goes to Maria's apartment to return it. After knocking with no response, Ethan uses the skeleton key to open the door and is shocked to find Maria severely wounded and dead. He calls the authorities, and her body is taken away. While Ethan is being questioned by the authorities, Eric calls him and invites him over to his apartment. There, Eric informs him about Charlotte's spider, explaining how dangerous it could be to live with humans. When Eric shows Ethan the spider, he is horrified by what he sees. Ethan goes back to his apartment and questions Charlotte about the spider. Charlotte is furious that he supports Eric's idea of taking her spider to the Department of Health. An argument ensues between them. Charlotte, who believed her father loved her but never visited because he lived in a distant country, learns that he has actually been around for 6 months and still never visited her. This revelation breaks her, and she walks out angrily and in tears. Meanwhile, Eric has no intention of getting rid of the spider. Instead, he feeds it and encourages it to grow as big as it can. When Eric goes to bed, the spider breaks free from the glass container it's kept in. It attacks Eric, strapping him to the ceiling with its web. The spider then goes to Helga's apartment, attacks Gunther, pulls her into the air duct, and weaves its web all over her body. At Ethan's apartment, while Heather talks to Ethan about his recent strange behavior, Charlotte, Liam, and Bonnie, who now stays with them, go into the room next to the sitting room. There, Charlotte puts on her headphones and watches a movie on her phone, unaware that Sting, now a gigantic spider, is on the ceiling. Sting moves into the sitting room, attacks Ethan and Heather, but Charlotte, though nearby, doesn't hear their screams for help due to her headphones. The spider drags them out of the house through the air duct and into its web. When Bonnie starts barking, Charlotte thinks it's due to hunger and, still with her headphones on and her eyes glued to her phone, gets it something to eat. When Bonnie ignores the food and continues barking, Charlotte realizes something is wrong. She stops the movie, takes off her headphones, and starts looking for Ethan and Heather. Charlotte hears a noise coming from the air duct and goes to investigate. When she realizes it is Sting and that it's coming for her, she quickly covers the air duct opening with a cupboard. As she sits down crying, Sting finds its way back into the house through another air duct, goes to Liam's cot, and takes him away. Charlotte remembers that mothballs scare Sting and prepares a solution with mothballs. Using the solution to clear her way, she goes in search of her family. She first finds Ethan entangled in the spider's web. She pours the mothball solution on him, melting the web. The two then search for Heather and Liam. While fleeing for safety, they enter the building's basement garbage compactor and find Heather and Liam entangled in the spider's web. Ethan pours the mothball solution on them, freeing them from the web. Ethan and Charlotte set a trap and use the compression device to destroy Sting. The family escapes safely, but they are unaware that Sting has laid several eggs, with one already hatching. Please show us some love, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. It's a small click for you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in our next video.